Welcome to 12-Minute Talks, where important information is shared in a short time period. Learn from other business owners, entrepreneurs, and experts about what they do to help you find solutions to everyday topics in 12 minutes or less. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 12-Minute Talks podcast. I'm excited to have with us today Dr. Regina Hardin from MyKidzMD Pediatrics. There are new clinics starting out where it's a flat fee to help those families out there that maybe the children do have some type of insurance, but maybe you're stuck with high deductibles, and maybe those families that don't have health insurance. Dr. Hardin, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this is a real interesting topic, as you might know. I know we talked a little bit. I myself sell health insurance, so I always like to find new solutions for people out there that maybe they do have health insurance, and maybe for some reason the primary care might be an issue with copays or really high deductibles, right? So
Correct.
what do you tell us a little bit about your background and how you became a doctor, let's say?
Oh, sure. I am a pediatrician. Again, I was born here in St. Petersburg, Florida. I trained in Atlanta. I did medical school at Morehouse. So at the Morehouse School of Medicine, I then came back home to do an internship at the University of South Florida, all children's, at least when it was all children's. And then I went back to Atlanta to finish residency in pediatrics, my residency in pediatrics at Emory University School of Medicine. So a lot of my practice years were in Atlanta. And then I decided to come back here to Florida, which is where I'm from. And I wanted to be closer to my parents. So again, I wanted to set up my practice in an area where I knew that I would be able to stay and build long-term relationships with patients and not have to leave.
Yeah, fantastic. So definitely a Florida native, which I think nowadays we're more like rare. People are like, oh, you were born in, you're up
Right.
there in St. Petersburg and I'm here in Miami. And people are like, oh, no, but where are you from? I'm like, yeah, I was born here.
Right.
you know, and I also have an accent. I mean, that's a different story, but I think that's great that even though you did get training up in Atlanta, you decided to come back for your parents and then also to just establish a practice here. So what do you tell us a little bit more about your practice and who is it exactly that you're trying to help and what problems you've seen in the marketplace?
Okay, sure. My practice is called MyKidzMD Pediatrics, and we are a direct primary care practice, and that might be a new term for a lot of people. But what it is it's a membership-based practice, and we see families or patients for a set monthly fee. And we do that. You can come as much as you want for that set monthly fee. You won't have a per fee visit. And we also will be able to offer prescriptions at a more discounted price. If you have a high deductible, we would be able to offer pre-negotiated prices as well for things like x-rays and for things like labs.
Fantastic. Yeah, this is definitely, there is a need for that in the market because there are a lot of plans out there. I've seen a lot with like group plans through people's jobs that have really high deductibles. So usually, it might have a fixed copay for the doctor, but it might be kind of high as well. Or, it might not even
Right,
cover it until you meet your high deductible, right? And and
right,
as and we know children, they slip and fall, break an arm, something like that, right? And or just the regular cold, right? It's very common in children. So it's definitely great that you're able to provide that solution. So I lost my train of thought, you see.
right. So
So
also, there are some of the concerns that that I used to face as a mom as well. I'm also a mother, and I remember back when I had to take my daughter to the pediatrician. Sometimes we might have to wait long for the visit. We might have to be in a crowded waiting room, which of course, now that's, a big thing. You don't want to be in a crowded place. Also, the visits might be rushed, or you might, wait for, like an hour or so, or 2 hours, and you might only get to spend 15 minutes with the doctor, or even you might even have to see a different doctor than the one that you're used to seeing. And so with direct primary care, our goal is to solidify or strengthen that physician-patient relationship so that we get to know patients. You have direct access. You can call us, you can text us, you can email. You can reach us on website, any way that, that we give you access to, which with direct primary care, that's the whole point, to make sure that there's nothing in the middle of that preventing
Yeah.
that interaction. So
Yeah.
that's a lot of it.
I think that's great, because that certainly is going to set you apart, because I will tell you, the number one complaint I get from my clients is, I went to the doctor and maybe I saw them for 5 minutes, but I really spent most of the time with some other lady who was like a nurse, right? Which is
Yeah,
fine, but that's not really,
yeah,
why you go to see a doctor, right? You want that one-on-one connection, So I think that's great that you're bringing that like old school, um, style of medicine back, which is needed. And especially with what's going on with the pandemic right now, we don't want to be in crowded places.
right.
So that definitely sets you apart, I would say, from other practices. um and so, Dr. Hardin, what are some of the benefits, like, for people to get discounts for x-rays and lab work, through your practice?
For example, with prescriptions, I'll just use amoxicillin or something like that as an example. I might be able to offer that for, say, $4, whereas if you were getting it at a pharmacy, it might be more expensive. And the same goes with labs and with x-rays as well. So we will provide a list to all families of all the medications that we have, the price, and also a comparison, as well as, if you wanted to use your insurance. A lot of times, we might think that, it's going to come out a little bit less expensive if we use our experience, when, a lot of times it's not, if you go the other route. So we just want to provide families with options.
Fantastic. Yeah. So what I look at it as, still get your health insurance, because
Yes,
I always say the most
for
expensive
sure.
um hotel stay is going to be that hospital stay, right? Even if you're
Yes,
there for a few hours, those bills are through the roof, and that's what you have health insurance for, really, to
right.
protect your pocket for those major incidences. And then you can use, like, um hold on, because I just lost the name. You can use like the MyKidzMD Pediatrics
Hmm.
for the preventive care, right? The doctor, the lab work,
Exactly.
the medicine, right?
The
So
sports physicals,
yeah,
the
yeah,
well visits.
exactly. So it seems like a good combination for those families that are stuck in those types of plans, and that's great. And so, Dr. Hardin, how can somebody get a hold of you if they would like to make an appointment? I understand you're not opening until September, correct?
Yes, soon my website will be active, and the website address is www.mykidzmd.com, and that's kids with a Z. And when I open the website, I will be able to offer, might see an area where you can do a pre-enrollment. So, or you can call me, I'll have my number there, and you can call me for more information. My phone number is 727-265-1353. I'm on Facebook as well, and also on Instagram.
Fantastic. And so, what is the service area that you're in?
It will be in Largo. It will be in the Pinellas County area, so Largo, Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Pinellas Park. And I'll also have an area as well where I will do home visits, so likely within 30 minutes, a 30-minute radius of the office.
Fantastic. And let me ask you, because this is really popular, what about virtual visits?
Yes, telehealth will be available as well.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And I just wanted to quickly introduce myself for those of you that don't know who I am. My name's Lorena Tomasini, and I'm the owner of Mom Life and Health Insurance Agency, where together with my mom, we help other families and businesses with their financial protection needs. Um, Dr. Hardin, it's been great having you on, and I do have one last question for you.
Yes.
What would you say is the best book that you've read recently?
Oh my gosh, I am reading several books, right now since I'm in startup education mode. The last book that I would have to say that I have read was called Startup DPC.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, you know. Awesome. Well, it's been great having you on today's episode, and is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, I would like to add that I am looking forward to working with families in the Tampa Bay area. Again, if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that valuable information.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this podcast and hope you will listen to the next one. I'm Lorena Tomasini, and you can contact me via email life@malmins.com. Make it a great day.